Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna Lentz, and today we are going to be talking Beetlejuice. 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 Also, check out my shirt. Does it remind you of anybody? I'm going for Adam vibes. My 3-year-old, Jules, is in the other room playing, and she heard me and she comes in. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. She was so excited. Anyway, so I love creating things inspired by Tim Burton films. I love it. I've always loved Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. And then my older daughter, she's 7 now, but when she was 2, she was obsessed with Nightmare Before Christmas. And when I mean obsessed, I mean daily Nightmare Before Christmas, watching the movie. And then we also got the soundtrack, and so when we would go up to the mountains and stuff like that, it was always the soundtrack. And then when it ended, we started it up again. And even now, like, I'll put it on in the background and she's like, are you watching Nightmare Before Christmas? And I'm like, I just like listening to it because it makes me happy, because it makes me think of her. But really, my #1 movie from him is definitely Beetlejuice. It's just so good. It's just so good, and like it could never be made the way that it was made then today, which makes it even more classic. And it's kind of crazy to think that it came out in 1988 and that was the year I was born, but you know, it's fine. Like, it's cool. So I said it that out. Nose itch. Anyway, so Tim Burton. He's awesome. I was watching something recently that talked about where he was influenced from, and it's really interesting because you think of Tim Burton and you think like that was just from him, but he actually drew a lot of inspiration from different artists from Germany too, which is really cool. So Google that. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an aficionado on that, but let me share with you the projects that I wanted to talk about today in my Adam inspired shirt. Anyway, so first, actually, let's talk about this. This is a Beetlejuice inspired blanket, and I really like this. It's loud, and if you're a Beetlejuice fan, I think you'll look at this and think Beetlejuice. If you don't look at this and think Beetlejuice, then I think you might think like Disney villain, because, you know, purple and green were always like the Disney villain colors. Definitely Maleficent, but I think that this screams Beetlejuice, because you have the black and white stripes, you have the green that, you know, is always like that drama, and then the purple is just very, very reminiscent. And this is honestly like a really classic granny square. It's the Sunburst Square, and it's just in different colors, and I'm showing it to you backwards. Let's get my life together. So here it is close up. And the border is just a simple edging of granny square. I like my blankets, my crochet blankets, super simple. Not a whole lot of razzle dazzle, because I tend to do louder patterns. So I just keep the border simple, if I even add a border. So how do you find this pattern? I have this up on my website, briannalentz.com. Let me show you. I have a free pattern for this blanket. And this square, this same granny square, is this granny square. So on my website, I have this pattern for free. Like I said, it's actually a classic square, but if you just change and manipulate the colors, you can get a really cool effect in anything that you do, and you can make it really creative. So it's the same square, okay? So you have your center, your second row, so your first round, your second round, your third round, your fourth round, okay? Now look at this. You have your center, your first round, your second round, and your third round, and then you have your square, okay? And so I give you instructions on how to do this for free. Really easy to follow, really successful. You can do this successfully. You can do this even as a beginner, okay? All you're doing is changing the colors. And on my website, I give you the color chart. So you can follow this and make this exactly the same way if you like these colors. I used Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And you can find all the colors that I used. So I like to choose things, now I like to really choose different colors and things that a lot of us in small towns don't have like a big store that they can go to, or you might not be able to afford shipping. So if you can go to your local Walmart, you can find this. And you can go to Joann's and Michael's and almost any store like that. They'll have Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And you can definitely go to like Knit Picks or any like yarn.com, anything, and go pick out your own colors. Hobby Lobby I did a color chart for this using different types of yarn that they had at Knit Picks, and I liked it. And then I made my own color chart using yarn from Hobby Lobby yarn. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I liked it, but I decided I could just go down to my local Walmart, pick up the stuff that I needed that day, and I started working on it. That was loud. Anyway, so this is 100% acrylic. You could use whatever yarn you want, but I give you the color chart and I give you the pattern so you can do this on your own. For free. I mean, not for free, but I mean the pattern's for free. And honestly, the Red Heart Super Saver yarn that I bought, like you can make this blanket for under 20 bucks. Depending on how big you want to make your blanket, that's up to you. So I love this. I like displaying this a lot. And I just want to say, like, I feel like a lot of times, like, you see blankets and they're twin size blankets or they're lap size blankets. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can make a crib size blanket and use it as decor. You could change and manipulate the dimensions of this and make it a table runner very easily. So instead of doing 5 squares this way, you could do 2 or 3 squares and run it all the way up, and you have a table runner. Or you could put it on some kind of a display depending on like what you want to do. You could do this as a baby shower gift depending on like what kind of people you're giving this to. Like I totally would have rocked my kids in this blanket. Especially like I know Disneyland's closed right now, but around Halloween time, that would be so cool. So I really, really love this. Like I said, it's beginner friendly. Second thing that I want to share that's Beetlejuice inspired is what you've been seeing in the background. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. So I charted this myself, and I have this same pattern for free as a downloadable PDF pattern on my website, briannalentz.com. And you can do this yourself. I used 28 count black Jobelin that I got from 1823stitch.com. And I think I might have used like a specialty thread, but honestly, like DMC is perfectly fine. So you could do this really easily. You could also use black Aida, 14 count, 16 count, 18 count, whatever you wanted. If you use 14 count Aida, it will be the same dimensions as mine, because by using 28 count, you're just stitching with 2 threads over 2 holes. And with 14 count Aida, what you're going to be doing is just using 2 threads stitched over 1 hole. And I love it. This is really fun. And I got this frame from my local Walmart and I spray painted it black. And I decided to display it like this. And then here's the back. And on my website, I actually give detailed instructions on how to finish your cross stitch, just like I did. I have a video down below on how to spray paint your own picture frame if you want to use your own picture frame and you just want to get some spray paint, because it's really cool to find some of those ornate picture frames and then to spray paint them. But like I said, I will link everything down below for you to find instructions on how to make all of these things for free. I don't charge anything, because you know, I think we're all borrowing ideas from each other anyway. So I love that. And I just, if you can see, I want to share one more thing. Well, I'm might share a couple more things. These were Halloween DIYs too. I spray painted these black and give it that gothic vibe. And this is a free pattern. This is not my free pattern, but I will link down the pattern that I used and take you to my website to where I got this pattern from. But it is a ghost doily, and doilies are made with crochet. So if you can make that Beetlejuice blanket, you can make this. And that's so fun. Didn't plan on sharing that, but why not? So I just put my doily on my chair, on my what is that? Table! Good grief! So anyway, that. And then my creepy angels. And there you have it. That is it for today's video. I just really wanted to share with you my Beetlejuice inspired DIY stuff, crochet blanket and the cross stitch pattern. And I having a lot of fun with this. I have an Oogie Boogie video coming out soon, and that will also be crochet and cross stitch. It's not going to be a blanket, it's going to be something else, which is super fun. I love him. Can't wait to share with him. Can't wait to share him with you. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging around, you guys. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe, please like this video, please share on your social media. It all is a huge, it's huge to content creators. So if you would do that, that would be so awesome. And I will see you guys in the next project. Bye.